We're back here on Overtime on WOTM. Mark, today a huge development out of the NFL, something we haven't seen since the 70s. They have officially decided to extend the regular season by one more game. But it's still going to be a 20-week calendar year because all they're doing is they're taking away one of the preseason games, making it 3 preseason games, and adding now a regular season game there. So it's now a 17th regular season game. Of course, this is all done by the collective bargaining agreement. It was put into it last year if the owners approved. The owners approved it here today. What do you make of this new 17-game season? Obviously, the players are mixed on it. It was a 60-40 vote, so that's a lot of chunk of people saying that they didn't want to play this. But you talk about the new TV deals with ESPN, Disney, with CBS, NBC, and now also with Amazon. A lot of influx of money, more money for the players, more money for the leagues. What do you make of here of 17 games?
Less money for guys like me and you. Look, I just think that a lot of the players didn't want to go to this. They've been fighting it for years to go to 17, and now they're going to go to 18 like we had talked about. USFL played 18 games, and that league is now defunct. But it wasn't the reason. But, I mean, players generally don't like to play more games. Do you realize there was a time where they played 6 preseason games?
Wow.
Now they would rather play no preseason games because you see guys can get injured.
Right.
And it's just, kind of a waste of time. It used to be, there were a lot of, I know Bill Parcells was a guy who tried to win preseason games because he thought it mattered. Now, coaches don't even really care. It's just,
You're trying to fill out your roster.
Yeah, maybe the first team will get like one offensive series, and then it's, guys that are going to be serving you at, pick and save, for the rest of the year. So I think that, it's something that fans want to see. Obviously, the more games you have, the better.
Right.
The more games. Look, I'm still thinking that they're going to eventually have a game every night of the week. The Wednesday night game of the week by Amazon, or CBS Sportsline presents Tuesday Night Football. I don't know, but I think that's what we're getting to. Why not? The NFL is the most popular as far as watched amongst all the sports.
Exactly. And to go to your point about the midweek games, that was kind of the thing I think the NFL kind of liked about this past season. Because you had some of the delays because of COVID testing and some positive COVID tests, you had Tuesday games. You had some weird Thursday games at different times, double headers on Thursdays and whatnot.
Wednesday morning football.
And I think we had an interesting situation last year. Also, some points here. The NFL weekend will kick off on Thursday, September the 9th. The regular season now will end in early January, on January the 9th in 2022. Each team will now play, because of course you have 17 games now, so an odd number of games. It'll rotate by the conferences. So one year the NFC will play more away games than road games, and the next year the very opposite to fill in those 17 games. And I think that will lead, like you said, to an 18th game.
Here's something interesting. Do you know in 1993 they actually had 2 bye weeks per team?
No, I did not know that.
It was the only year that they did that.
And that's actually one of the things they're keeping the 1 bye week this year for each team. Once again, that goes into effect this year. 17 regular season games, and we'll see how it all plays out going into this year. Super Bowl 13 will take place at SoFi Stadium on February 13th, 1 week later, over in the City of Angels in L.A. in California. Coming up next here on Overtime, we'll talk college football. Jacksonville State and Alabama kind of on different pages right now. One's in the regular season, one's in the offseason. We'll discuss both next. $17:47 or $7:47.